Hello! I know this might not be the most original idea yet, but that's okay. I went to school, and they had dances, so there you go. I'm gonna start from the first school dances I remember, and then make my way up. I don't know if this counts as a dance, but in grade 3 we had to learn ballroom dancing. Why? I don't know. But everyone was paired up with someone of the opposite gender and had to slow dance with them. It was very uncomfortable because, as I've mentioned multiple times in previous videos, I was very shy and had to dance with some guy that I barely knew. I'm pretty sure that my friend had a small theory that this particular guy had a crush on me since he'd picked me as his partner in multiple things. So if that was true, then he must have been happy, I guess. I'm sure it looked cute, a bunch of little kids dancing together, but I didn't enjoy it. The parents were invited to come and watch, and my mom took lots of pictures. My elementary school had 1 or 2 dances each year, and one was always on Halloween. I used to look forward to those because everyone was dressed up and it was really fun. I specifically remember there was one person almost every year who wore this Grim Reaper costume, and it always creeped me out. But for a while now, masks have been banned, so did they used to not be banned, or was whoever was wearing it just breaking the rules and not getting caught? Or maybe it was just the Grim Reaper and he wanted to go to a dance. Who knows? If you've been to a school dance, you've probably heard this song.
Right foot, let's stomp. Left foot, let's stomp. Freeze! Everybody clap your hands.
And since I didn't know my rights and lefts for the longest time, I just copied what other people around me were doing and hoped for the best. One time I was dancing and the person was facing me, so I just mirrored what they were doing, which means I was doing it all the wrong way. I mean, unless they were doing it the wrong way, in that case I was doing it the right way. In grades 7 and 8, tickets were sold to go to a dance at a high school, the one that I currently attend. Me and my friend usually went to those, and they were fun and all, but no one really danced. They just stood in groups the whole time. Unless the chorus to a popular song came on, then people sang along and jumped to it. Or some songs were just the type where you had to dance to it, or at least bob your head. And then there were the dreaded slow songs, where people would be pushed to ask someone to dance. A lot of the time, me and my friends would leave to go to the snack bar or something just to avoid any awkward situations. I'd say I was never asked to dance, but I actually was once. I don't even really remember anything about it, except that I said no. I mean, it feels sort of bad because, if you're asking someone to dance, it's probably you're probably pretty nervous, and I just rejected that person. But I mean, I would have felt too uncomfortable to actually dance with them. Also, another time, some guy proposed to me. I'm pretty sure it was a dare. I said no then too. During these dances, the people who were supervising us were always coming up and trying to make us dance. It was like their job was to convince a bunch of preteens to dance at a dance. And I always felt uncomfortable when that happened and would just sort of awkwardly bounce my head or something. There was a dance right after my grade 8 graduation, and it was really fun shopping for a nice dress, and everyone looked so dressed up. I was so proud of my makeup, but when I look back at the pictures, I improved in my makeup skills a lot since then. I mean, I don't wear makeup every day, but when a special occasion presents itself, I'ma go all out. In high school, there were less dances. One of the first ones, while I was in grade 9, I wanted to go to, even though none of my friends were going. And there was this one girl that was in one of my classes that I was trying to be friends with, but I mean, we weren't really that close. I just talked to her a few times during that class. And I figured I'd go too, and would just stick with her. I feel like she was annoyed because she had another friend that she was closer to there, and I was just sort of inserting myself into their group because I didn't know what else to do. However, some other people came along, and I remember dancing with this one girl during one of the songs, and I felt so included, and it was really fun. Then the girl that I was sort of friends with but not really disappeared somewhere, probably running away from me. But there was another girl that I talked to a few times that was sticking around. Overall, it was a fun experience, and I'm really glad that I went, despite the fact that, I didn't really know anyone that was going, and I was nervous that I would just be alone the whole time. Also, in grade 9, I was in a club that basically did volunteer work and helped out the school. One of the things we did was organize dances for the grade 7 and 8s. The same dances that I mentioned earlier, except this time, I was one of the people working it. Remember when I said that people supervising made us feel uncomfortable and forced us to dance? Now that was me. I mean, I didn't really do my job that well, since I knew what it was like to be forced to dance. I mostly just walked around and tried to be energetic. And something I noticed is the grade 7 and 8s were wearing a lot more makeup than I remember people were wearing when I was in grade 7 and 8. Sometimes, when I wasn't supposed to be forcing the children to dance, I was at the coat check, where we gathered the coats and gave it back to them when they left. In order to find them, we had to ask, "What's your number?" Because each coat had a number on it, and sometimes we'd get weird looks because it takes them a second to realize that I'm not hitting on you, I just want to do my job. In grade 10, our school was supposed to do a semi-formal, but it wasn't advertised at all. It was in the middle of a week, and no one was going. However, one of my friends said that there was a guy that I'm pretty sure was in grade 12, and he was hosting his own semi-formal at a banquet hall. This one was on a Friday, and everyone was going. I love dressing up, so I was very excited for that. The one that the school was hosting ended up getting canceled because literally no one wanted to go. I didn't even know that they were hosting one until it was announced that they were canceled because it was barely being advertised. I went to a bunch of stores with my mom to find a dress to wear and picked one out that I loved. I wore my only pair of high heels. I don't really like wearing heels because it's not very comfortable. I only really wore them one other time, and it was for my grade 8 graduation. They do look very pretty and glamorous, so I figured it was a good time to wear them. And they matched my dress. I put on lots of makeup and went with my friends. We didn't dance that much, but it was really fun nonetheless. I'm glad that we went. There was another time this year that I almost went to a dance, except this one took place at a nightclub. But that could be a video all on its own. I hope you have an amazing day. Bye!